Well, it's that time again. That time every year where everybody excitedly buys the new Call of Duty game. And those of us that are a bit more, let's just say, not brainwashed by Treyarch, go, maybe this isn't the best game of the year. Maybe this is the worst game of the year. Greetings, demons, and welcome to a Call of Duty review. I'm going to call it that despite the fact that I've played nowhere near enough to be able to call it review. Let's just for now call it first impressions and take it from there. And we are focusing on zombies. I'm not going to talk about multiplayer or the campaign or Warzone. I'm just going to talk about zombies because that's what I care about, that's what I put most of my time into, and also it's what you're now seeing gameplay of. So, yeah. I've been following Call of Duty Zombies, specifically Black Ops Zombies, since Black Ops 2. I first played Zombies in Kino on Black Ops 1, but the first time I played Zombies when I owned it was actually World at War with Nacht der Untoten. The first time I was involved during the lifespan of a game was with Black Ops 3, and mostly playing Der Reisendrache. I love Call of Duty Zombies, especially Black Ops Zombies. I am a fan personally of World War II Zombies, Infinite Warfare Zombies, and just as an extra, I like Extinction Mode from Ghost. I think they're all very good survival modes, and better than standard survival and exo survival from the Modern Warfare series and, of course, Advanced Warfare. So why is it that after enjoying 4 of the previous 5 Call of Duty Black Ops games that have zombies, and I include World at War in that statistic, just leave me be. Why is it that I don't like Cold War Zombies? And now some people are going to point to the fact that they've changed it away from story, it's now much more gameplay orientated. Some people may point out the fact that Zombies, more than ever, is very much just multiplayer but with zombies instead of enemies, or standard players should I say. But I think there's a more intrinsic issue with zombies right now. Zombies, at launch at least, is always a buggy mess. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, the issues are, it crashes constantly, and, the exfil doesn't work, and stuff like that. I'm not going to go on about that. That's for a different video. If it doesn't get fixed within the month, I will be making a lot of videos complaining about it because they are serious issues, but I'm going to focus in on what I think is the main thing that's stopping me from enjoying this game. Now, I say that I'm not enjoying it, but I am still putting hours upon hours into this. I've already I think I'm on 3.5 hours into Zombies, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot just be sat down playing Zombies when I'm also playing other games besides, and it's only been out, but as of recording this, it's been out 2 days. So why is it that I feel this way? The long and short of it is, they've changed what Zombies is. I did mention earlier in the preamble that it is very much like they've just given us multiplayer but with zombie survival in it. And in a lot of ways, that's pretty lazy. The weapon balance is all over the place. Some weapons that just shouldn't function as well as they do. And then things like, you'll see me using the MP5 as my standard weapon, which you can choose a default weapon that isn't a pistol or the melee weapons or anything, so I mean that's a bit odd, but I do actually like that as a concept. It's an okay idea. But the MP5, which is an SMG, a weapon that is typically decent, at least for low rounds, essentially becomes useless by about round 5. And that's unprecedented, and I understand rarities and stuff, that's just a concept within this game. Whatever, it's cool, it's fine. But you must admit, it's a bit odd that weapons that typically would work really well in Zombies just don't. And then rocket launchers and sniper rifles are effective beyond their usual scope. Now, this isn't to say that, they've broken the balancing, it'll need fixing or whatever. I honestly think this is what they intended even, for this mode. I just don't get why. They've also further changed how points work. You now don't get points per hit. You essentially get points for killing in different ways. So melee kills get you more points than regular kills. Headshot kill or critical damage kills, whatever you want to call them, get you more. And, that's fine. I'm not against that. It just makes everything more expensive than it already is. And then on top of that, buying items now is different depending on how you're playing. So, I believe it has always been the case where solo, you do get things cheap in terms of doors. They have repeated that again, which is perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with that, even if that's a new thing. I don't play much solo, I'll be quite honest. But I believe that's a thing that's been standard. But what hasn't been standard is how things like perks change price depending on various factors that I've yet to figure out. From what I understand, perks get more expensive the more of them you buy, perks get more expensive if you die and lose them, and perks get more expensive completely arbitrarily because the game just decided that they will be. There have been multiple times where my first perk has been Juggernog, as most people it probably would be. And I've paid anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 as my first perk with no downs. Now, I don't know whether that's an issue with the game, like a glitch, or whether that's intentional, but if that's intentional, I wish I understood why it was intentional. Because perks are such an integral part of the game, and sure, we now have like the armor system and the weapon upgrade system and stuff, like, there are other things to give us powers, but the perks should be the baseline. You having all your perks, which now you can have more than 4 perks, which is a fine addition. Black Ops 3 kind of had this, Black Ops 4 kind of had this. Hell, even Black Ops 2 technically had that in some regard. I don't know how I feel about the fact that they've then made it so that it's essentially impossible to get all 6 perks, despite the fact it allows you to. And fair enough, some people are really good at zombies. I'm apparently not. I thought I was decent, but after playing Cold War, I very rarely on solo get past round 15. In this gameplay, in fact, I don't get past round 9. And I don't know, it just seems like they've made things ridiculously difficult and then made early game more difficult than late game. Because I reached, with 1 or 2 friends, I've reached rounds like 30, 40 pretty easily. But what I found was the starting first 10 rounds are definitely the most difficult. It's the time where most of us would go down the most, whether that be because we didn't have the perks or the weapons to deal with the fact that you get, I think before round 10 you get 4 of the boss zombies, and you get 2 dog rounds, so I don't know, there seems to be a lot like in your way of actually doing well early. And I don't really understand that, because surely zombies, especially the starting map, is supposed to be friendly to newcomers, because this could be someone's first Call of Duty. Imagine that, jeez. But seriously, it could be someone's first Call of Duty in their first zombies experience. Is it really fair that if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to die before round 10? And fair enough, some people will enjoy that. A lot of people like their, I'm going to call it, self-hating games. Things like Dark Souls, things like Cuphead. But that's not what zombies is. And sure, there's always been hard maps. Some maps are always harder than others. None really come to the top of my head right now, but there are definitely examples of difficult zombies maps in the past. But none have been this hard to start. It took me 3 games getting to about round 20 before I understood how to even pack a punch. And this was with the help of someone who had already put 5 hours into the game before I actually downloaded it. So, when someone like me, who, as I say, I've been playing essentially since Black Ops 3, but I was playing zombies before then, it's a bit ridiculous that I am struggling to do something that you'll see in this gameplay is actually pretty simple. But there's so many doors that are expensive, there's so many little things that you wouldn't think to do that you have to do. the point system is, as I say, a mess compared to normal. I don't know. It's an awkward mess, and I don't know whether it's intentional or not. Now, I have been on the train for many years since the release of Black Ops 3 that Treyarch don't know what they're doing anymore, and I feel like Cold War is once again showing that. Black Ops 3 had about, I'm going to say, 3 standard maps that were actually good, but one of them was a remake in the form of the Giant, and the other two were Der Reisendurcher, which, fair enough, is a great map. And then the other one is Revelations, it is Revelations, which is just a mashup of existing map assets, with a few extra things taken from multiplayer, and I don't know, it works as a finale. I do like that map, but as a map in general, it seems a bit odd. I go back to Black Ops 3 quite regularly, but it's not for the original maps. It's for the aforementioned Giant and Chronicles, which is just older maps remade in Black Ops 3. I love Kino, I love Nacht. I even enjoy going back to Origins from time to time. They're my favourites. But why is it that I don't feel the need to go back to Der Reisendurcher? Why do I not want to go back to Zetsubo no Shima? Why don't I even remember the names of the maps from Black Ops 4, other than 9? And why am I going to have forgotten this machine by the time I finish this recording? It's quite simple, to me, at least. They've just forgotten the story. Now, Treyarch made it very clear after Black Ops 3 that they literally don't know their own campaign. And by the time of Black Ops 4, it was very clear they also didn't understand their own zombies. And that's the saddest thing. Both Black Ops 4 and now Cold War had potential to tell brand new stories, and Black Ops 4 attempted that with I'm going to call it the 9 story. I know it has an official name, but I'm not going to call it that. I really like 9, and then hate the other maps that I can't think of the names of. And now they're kind of revisiting the original story, while also disregarding story, and also giving us brand new characters that have nothing to do with who we're playing. All the story relates to characters we have either met very, little of in previous games, or random newcomers that may or may not be from campaign. I'm not a campaign person, I don't really know. But then we play as operators from multiplayer, which means we don't even have characters ourselves. And fair enough, you may say the original Nacht didn't have characters. Most of the original World at War maps did not have actual characters. It wasn't until pretty late in that, the characters like Richtofen, Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo, they were introduced pretty late on. And I understand that, but those characters still exist, and depending on the continuity that you're following, are still alive. Especially by the 80s, we've seen them live far past that point. So it's just odd to me that they've decided to kind of forego it. And it's just made me not enjoy it overall. If I'm to sum up my ideas just as a coherent sentence, I'd say they've completely changed the gameplay and I don't really like that. They've made the gunplay a bit worse, they've made the actual general controls a bit worse, they've made the perk system and the point system both pretty bad. And then they've removed the thing that kept me coming back to zombies over and over again, which was the story. And that's my thoughts. I would personally say this may be the worst zombies experience ever. And this is coming off the back of Black Ops 4, which at the time I said was the worst zombies experience ever. Which came off the back of Black Ops 3, which I also said was the worst that we'd currently had. No diss, I guess, towards Black Ops 3. I enjoy that game. But no zombies experience has been as good as Black Ops 2. And I haven't even played Buried, which is apparently the greatest map of all time. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first impressions of Call of Duty Zombies. Like it if you did, subscribe if you're new around here, I make videos like this every single day. And otherwise, let's hope that Treyarch actually listens to the community members like myself that don't think that this is a zombies experience worth having. And yeah, that's it from me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Lunar rainbow flag, happy pride, rabbit with facts. Streamer, let's play. They them out like dinosaurs. FNAFN, control. Not the leader of a cult. Rabbit with sax. It's Lunar.